What's up, everybody? Dynasty Mir, Search for Uhuru, and I have the brother Kala Genesis on with us again today or tonight. And what's up, everybody? Dynasty sorry about that. For Uhuru, and I have there we go. Sorry about that. I apologize about that. But tonight we're going to be discussing how Black people worldwide are still jockeying for position that seat right next to white supremacy. And I'll give you an example of this, Kala, that happened this week, actually, a couple of days ago. Zimbabwe rejoined the Commonwealth, or they want to. Would that be an example of Black people worldwide jockeying for position under white supremacy?
Of course it is. You know what I'm saying? It's still saying that the Black race has more faith in white institutions globally, white prestige. Look, you saw this wedding that went on. You know what I'm saying? This wedding. Everyone's saying how this is gonna affect Black girls worldwide. Black girls' self-esteem is going to be picked up when Black people are married into the royal family. So Al Sharpton said racism is going to end, white supremacy is going to end because of this way. Why? Because Al Sharpton has a vested interest in jockeying for position in white supremacy. He's already figured that the white man is Thanos, and so why not just cut a deal and get you know where he's there to get his slice of the cake. You always use blueberry pie. You know what I'm saying? You always the blueberry pie. Right? He's always using food as an analogy. So he's there to get his slice of the cake, his piece of the chicken. You know what I'm saying? and his end of the ham bone. I can see Russell Simmons and Al Sharpton gnawing on the ham bone. You know, I have bad dreams about that. Russell Simmons and Al Sharpton having a ham bone and this and they going on the ground fighting. Whatever. Russell Simmons jaw out. You know. But the bottom line is this: all these Negroes, no matter what they tell you, no matter what they say and everything, they are about trying to jockey for position under white supremacy. And the white supremacy is so smart; it'll make it appear as if they are you are making progress. They'll make it appear that you're getting to a certain amount. You know what I'm saying? But the moment you step out of line and you want to go outside them, or above them or around them, they will destroy you. You know what I'm saying? When you try to make a power move that doesn't include them or doesn't go by what they say, like Michael Jackson tried to do and everything like that, Bill Cosby, whatever. Like I'm not saying I like Michael Jackson or Bill Cosby, but it's funny how when people start talking about publishing and ownership and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Suddenly they got a problem with you. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about buying a major TV network, suddenly people fall out with you. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking about we're going to control the images of Black America and everything like that. We're going to build Black wealth and all this stuff like that. Suddenly they got a problem with you. You know, so there's only two things. Either you're jockeying for position under white supremacy or you are trying to destroy it and topple it and build something else around it. You know what I'm saying? Besides it. If you're not trying to build land infrastructure, nationhood, a global Black African infrastructure, then you are basically trying to fit in where you fit in under the system. You know what I'm saying? What happens is this. Let me tell you something. What happens when you jockey position, right? This is always happens. You always end up turning on your peers. You know what I'm saying? You always you know how you can tell people jockey position? You're not trying
let me ask you this to cut you off. You said you always end up turning on your peers.
Yeah.
So my question is, there's so many, I would say, Black people jockeying for so many different positions under white supremacy. How will we define our peers?
Okay, you and I are peers. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm older than you. You know what I'm saying like that, and I got peers. Oops. You know, okay. You and I are peers. You know what I'm saying we're on the same wavelength. We believe the same, have the same ideology for the most part. You know, not 100%, but you know, close. But we're peers. You know what I'm saying peers are people that are your equals. You know what I'm saying? We have a medium. We basically talk to people. I have Column Nation, BAIO. You have Search for who. You know, we're peers. You know what I'm saying? We're contemporaries. You know what I'm saying? So is that your computer keep going in and out?
No. My computer's fine, but it's just Yeah, everybody says they can hear fine though, but it's
No,
just
no. The screen went out. The screen went out. Yeah, okay.
No, you're good. Go ahead. You're fine.
Okay. Well, anyway, so what I'm trying to say is this: peers are the people that are your equals, your contemporaries. Let me see. Socrates was a mentor to Plato. You know what I'm saying? But then, as Plato rose up in prominence, he became peers to Socrates. You know what I'm saying? And he took some of Socrates' ideology and modified it into his own. Everything he was completely different, but they have different ways of seeing things. Socrates, when he said his most things that's remembered in history, he was much older. Plato, when he was at his height, he was much younger. So he had idealism and everything. You know what I'm saying? So he always mentored Socrates when he was like 20 years older. Excuse me, Socrates was 20 years older than Plato.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then after that, it had Aristotle. Aristotle was a student of Plato. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though they lived in the same time period or whatever like that, there was generations that separate them, and different things took effect. And so therefore, the different ideologies were different because the years of different apart have different ways of thinking. You and I are here talking about land infrastructure initiative for the most part, so we're on the same wavelength. We're peers. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, all the people that listen to us and everything, we're all peers. We're all brothers. We're all peers. We're all equal. You know what I'm saying? The problem is when you have somebody who decides, I'm going to make Dinas the leader. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make Kala the leader, right? Now, the only way, to me, is if you're going to become a leader, you have to either you're going to be part of this global system of white supremacy, which you'll play your role as an angry black man, white supremacy. Meanwhile, you're collecting money, you're building temples, raking in money and stuff like that, complaining about the same system that you hate so much. You know what I'm saying? You're jockeying for position. You ain't trying to destroy the system because as long as you know the system exists, you always going to get a paycheck. You always going to get money in that GoFundMe account. You know what I'm saying? You're going to always have somebody. Let me give you an example. I remember seeing this one brother when the Ferguson happened. Oh, we got another one, huh? These brothers were fighting over one situation, right? I think I forgot what it was. We lost count of so many police shootings, right? And they said, well, we was out there doing this, that, the other thing. There's something happened. Another one happened, right? They're like, well, forget it. I'm going out to this other city right here. So in other words, basically they were saying, well, there's plenty for everybody. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You were jockeying for position. You were trying to get in where you fit in and everything. And the bottom line is this: the average person is sitting back saying, "Damn, when do we wake up from this nightmare?" You are never gonna make up this nightmare as long as it's profit, as long as there's advantage to you being oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Booker T. Washington said something interesting, and I think he was the main one jockeying position, right? When people see each other, like I said, they turn on each other, right? I don't know who you exactly talked about, but he said, look, there's a class of black men that are emerging and whose sole job is to keep the problems of the black community in front of the public. They don't want to have any position of solving the problem, but they want to use that to agitate for white people. Why? Because it gives them notoriety, and another way because it pays well. In other words, the idea of the so-called black leadership, whatever like that, is an institution in white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? You want me to repeat that?
Repeat that again. That was important. That's
the institution of the so-called black leadership is a product of white supremacy
on both sides, Republican, conservative, whatever.
Whatever it is, if you call yourself a black leader in this situation right here, where you have no real power to do anything, right, other than call yourself a spokesmouth, you know what I'm saying? You are part of the same system that you claim oppresses black people. The so-called black leader. Now, it doesn't mean that some people don't take initiative and go out there and do their thing. And I know a lot of people, Brother Shakim, that is down in Charleston, South Carolina, he's doing wonderful work. You know what I'm saying? In school, there's a lot of people doing, but the people that's doing the low-key stuff, that are opening their own schools and do stuff like that, they don't get there and try to get notoriety. They don't get there and try to, every time they look up, they call it. Let me tell you something. You will be surprised how much these people try to get on Fox News. They won't come on your show or whatever like that, but they want to spot on Fox News.
Right.
They want to get on Fox News. They want to impose themselves on the black public. It's CNN. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why? Because they got a bigger audience and everything. So it appears when they're talking that this is what this person speaks for the so-called black people.
It makes them seem like they're credible.
They're credible. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, that's the institution of the black so-called leadership or misleadership class. You were jockeying for position. The bottom line is this: and then, like I said, they were given the biggest gift of all when Donald Trump was elected. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What was it? Biggest?
The biggest gift they ever had was when Donald Trump was elected. You know what I'm saying? Now they can go when Donald Trump was elected. You know what I'm saying?
Donald Trump.
Yeah, good. You know why? Because they could go and say, "Look, see, we got a white supremacist."
I understand you. What was the biggest gift of all?
No, the biggest gift to the so-called people who jockey for position was the election of Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Okay, got you. All right. Yeah.
Why? Because now they can say, "Look, we got Donald Trump in office. He's racist." So, in other words, basically, let me ask you this, right? This is how you expose these people, right? So let's say Donald Trump, when he first got in, he said, "I want to meet with black leaders, but let's just see what we can do." You know what I'm saying? You know, you got problems in your city. You know, maybe we got funds that we can help out, this thing. Now, do you think anybody from people say, "Let's build Detroit"? And these people, now I'm not trying to defend Donald Trump, just like that. I'm trying to expose you the hypocrisy of what we have right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Jim Brown met with him and said, "Look, I said, you know, I like what I heard, this, that, thing. You know, this guy, he's sincere about this, that, thing. Jim Brown and all these black leaders were not. They were never invited to the White House by Barack Obama. Nope. They were invited to the White House by Bill Clinton.
They got Jay-Z, Beyonce, all the rappers got invited to the White House.
Right, I'm saying. So therefore, that was supposed to take care of black people. You know what I'm saying? But just having Jay-Z and Beyonce around. You know what I'm saying? Right. And Ludacris. You know what I'm saying? All these rappers. You know what I'm saying? So that's Barack Obama's legacy. Now Trump said, "Okay, I'm gonna come in here. Let's talk about a job program. Let's talk about what we can do to crime and stuff like that. Maybe education, whatever like that. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk." No. Congressional Black Caucus. We're gonna meet with you. No, we can't meet with you. Why? Just all you doing is sitting there. You're making no commitment. You know, they pulled out. No, we can't meet with Donald Trump. Why? Because they're jockeying for position. Why? The Congressional Black Caucus figured by 2000 they'll take the House back, right? And they'll get their goodies again. You know what I'm saying? They sit on these little committees and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So they're basically saying, okay, if we get the House back and whatnot, that means we have the Ways and Means Committee and everything. I can get that position. Oh, here we go, F-word. Yeah, we talking about you ready to drop it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it sounds like it's coming from your computer. Okay.
It sounds fine. I mean, usually the whatever setup you end up going to towards like the middle of the show or towards the end is always the perfect setup. I don't know what you do, but it's always the perfect setup.
Yeah, get on the phone. If you don't stop, I'm gonna get on the phone. Okay, now check this out.
Yeah, now, you should go ahead and get off the phone now. Go and get on the phone now.
Let's see.
That's always the best when you're on the phone. I guess with your earpiece, not on speaker. That's always the best.
Okay. Let me try for like 5 more minutes.
All right, go ahead.
Now the Congressional Black Caucus, see, it comes and goes. The Congressional Black Caucus and all these other people who do absolutely nothing for the community, right, will basically be in positions of in subcommittees and everything like that. They'll be able to hire people, and the power will be back in their hand if they flip the House. You know what I'm saying? That's all they want. You know what I'm saying? They don't want anything else other than the power. So therefore, they're jockeying for position under a Trump administration, and under a Trump administration using that as a scare tactic to get black people to vote, and so they can basically have the Democrats pass all the liberal agenda, the LGBTQ, whatever kind of stupid ideologies and stuff like that. Same thing with the conservatives, the black conservatives. I don't know what they want.
Right.
The black conservatives, I don't know exactly what they want. You know what I'm saying? I do have an idea what the black liberals want. I don't know what the black conservatives want.
Let me ask you this, Caleb. So the Black Caucus, or Maxine Waters, said that she's gonna, I guess, ask for reparations for black people.
So that's another video stolen tactic. They know in the years you're never gonna get no reparations. But they can convince black people that they're gonna do that, right?
Right.
They can justify themselves in their position. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get reparations and whatnot, you know? And then they say, okay, it goes, let's say if it does pass, it goes Trump's desk. What's Trump gonna do? He's gonna veto it, right? And then they're like, oh yeah, now we gotta get the presidency back. We gotta register people to vote because you're gonna get reparations and blah 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 blah. You know, the bottom line is when you look at somebody like Maxine Ward, this lady's insane.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? These people, like I said, this is with John Lewis. The guy needs to be retired. You know what I'm saying?
John Lewis, Maxine Waters. I think Charlie Rango already retired.
Yeah, Charlie Rango. I don't know. No, I think he's there. Charlie Rango has been in office as long as you and I have been alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? John Conyers has been in office since my mother was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? And so these people are like dinosaurs. They have no in the wake of Charlie Rango representing Harlem. Harlem is going from black to white.
You know what's crazy? Maxine Waters, somebody said in the chat room, she says she wants to capture both the House and Senate before asking for anything for blacks. Ain't that? I mean, these people are just sick.
Yeah, you know. And like I said, the bottom line is what they would. You know, another thing is this. What they want to do is this. They want to do is this. They fear another nationalist movement in Black America.
But you know, listen, you might not believe me. It's starting to pick up a little bit.
It is because why? Because what Maxine Ward and all these people are doing is this. When you listen to them and you go back and forth, you follow Al Sharpton and all these people. What they want to do is give the system legitimacy in the eyes of Black America.
Right.
The system has no legitimacy. You know what I'm saying? See, the reason why we suffer police brutality, racism, and everything like that is because we submitted to being American. Now we didn't submit to it. It was forced on us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
White America have no idea about this, right? That our being part of America was for them, not for us. You know what I'm saying? If you have almost 50 million people who don't have an allegiance to this country, what are you going to do? You're going to keep them here by force? You know what I'm saying? White Americans always use force on black people. They use jobs, they use poverty, they use self-hate, all the psychological warfare that they put on us every day in negative images is psychological warfare. You know what I'm saying? They control how we see each other. They control how we feel about ourselves, how we love ourselves, how we hate ourselves, everything. They do that as psychological warfare. When you turn on the radio in the afternoon, right? The radio, the disc jockeys and everything, they're already jockeying for white supremacy because we're the only group of people, race of people, where you can turn on the radio and you hear somebody talk about murdering, killing, raping, and all stuff like that in broad afternoon, and you got that going through the minds and hearts of young impressionable people nationwide.
Yep.
The only group of people where you are celebrated, when you're a thug, when you're a gangster, you're all the stuff like that. Why? Because the rappers are already inside. Yeah, man, you know, I'm not gonna improve anything because if I prove something, right? See, let me give you an example. If somebody's trying to cut a record here, right, and he's come from a hood, right? The last thing he want to hear is his hood has a low crime rate and it's cleaned up.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty middle class.
The low crime rate. All we do is study and graduate, and
that don't sell records.
And we go to school and we're in med schools and lawyers. And,
that won't sell. You have to take it the lowest common denominator. Yo, I was down in my hood the other day. I got shot, man. I tried to make it home.
Face with machine guns. Slap.
Yeah, I got chopper.
Slap my wife. Slap my mom. So dope.
Yeah. I got some of the muddy water. I got to unload on my way home from school one night. I had to use my chopper.
I sold so much crack. I'm coming back with all the crack.
I'm gonna give it back. And I'm gonna give it back. I'm gonna give it back. And to get me some more crack.
Get some more crack. Got to re-up all the crack.
You know what I'm saying? And then they know all the words, the new words and phrases and everything like that. You know? And they package it and sell it to white suburbia. You know what I'm saying? White suburbia. Wow, that's righteous. You know what I'm saying? They're living right. I wish I lived in the hood. You know what I'm saying? and you go to that same hood, and people out there, I'm walking my dog, man. Because you ever see white people come by the hood, they're like, I gotta go to the hood. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? This is what so white people know where to buy the dope.
Yeah,
that's all the time to come to the hood. Yeah. And then also too, I'm gonna tell you something else. They go to these flea markets and buy all this bootleg. So a lot of these soccer moms, these white soccer moms, they have these Louis Vuitton purses and shit. Yeah. They get that shit from these flea markets out here in the hood.
Yeah. Yep.
So they'll come to the hood to get all the fake Louis Vuitton and Prada purses and shit.
Yep.
And when they come out here deep with their husbands.
Yep. So it's like I said, a dog and Punisher. Yo, I'm gonna have to try to get on my phone. So hold it down, guys.
Okay, I'm holding it up. No problem. Everybody,
keep talking, man. Keep talking.
I got it. Everybody, thank you once again for joining me and the Brother Collagenesis. Make sure you get the likes up. If you're not super chatting, all I ask is that you guys like and share. I know a brother in the chat room said it's the same people that always come on the live stream, and I'm like, well, just share help share the content. Help put the content out there. So we could build this platform so people could come on here and not, feel the need to compromise themselves and go on CNN or Fox. They could truly be themselves. So please make sure you get the likes up, hit that like button as you come into the chat. Kala is going to get on his phone. He's going to hop on his phone. So, the sound will be better. Sound is always better on his phone for some reason versus his laptop. That's why I always ask him just to, just when he does the live stream, just to do it on his phone instead of his laptops. But happy hump day, happy Wednesday. Make sure you guys go to my social media. Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you guys follow me on that, because when I start traveling here shortly, it's not to August. I'm going to Nigeria, but when I start traveling, I probably won't be doing live streams because me, I usually where I stay, the type of places I stay, there's no fast Wi-Fi. So you guys can keep up with everything I'm doing. Follow me on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So make sure you guys go on there and subscribe, like, and share. So, the subject, if you're just coming in, Black people worldwide jockeying for position under white supremacy. So, we had the situation this week with Zimbabwe wanting to go back under the Commonwealth. It's like you have the African Union. Why do you need the Commonwealth for? Because the African Union is supposed to serve in the same capacity as the Commonwealth, or even better. And really, the roast is gonna be this weekend. So the roast on the MGTOW is gonna be this weekend. Trying to get the brother Holipism and Falcon MGTOW. You get trying to get on the same schedule. So it's gonna be this weekend, probably Saturday or Sunday. So it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. Probably, I'm going to try to schedule it for around Saturday, probably around 11, maybe. Just, it depends. Kala, that's you? Yeah, it depends. Probably Saturday around 11. If not 11, probably around 4 or 5. It just depends. I'll be in Nigeria from August 6th to the 19th. That's when I'll be in Nigeria. August 6th to the 19th. So, of course, I'm going to be in Lagos. Ife, then I'm going to Benin City in Osogbo for the Osun Festival. So yeah, I'll be in Nigeria there. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I talked to him. I communicated with Falcon MGTOW to this earlier today. We're trying to get on today, but he had Taekwondo. I guess he does Taekwondo professionally. So we couldn't connect. Yeah, but he will be getting joned either Saturday or Sunday. I sure will. No, Falcon said he's going to show up. Falcon's going to show up. Yeah, he's definitely going to show up. So, yeah. But there's really no point in Zimbabwe joining the Commonwealth, I guess joining the Commonwealth when you got the African Union, allegedly. So, Khalifa and Missouri, are you MGTOW too? Oh yeah, of course he did. I got to bring her back on. Pride and Coalition and Pride and Coalition. I got to bring her back on. So I do as well. So, all right, you guys, just waiting for Kyle to get back on. Don't know what's up with his phone. Oh, you're married? All right, good. So you're not MGTOW. You're not MGTOW. Yeah, I know Mugabe's sick. He has to be sick. In the red. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you. For the record, Diney, so happy you're doing this on your platform. We need Pan-Africanism now more than ever. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting. That means a lot. And all I ask you guys is just to make sure you share. Oh, Tisa Diki, there's several videos on that. We've done a ton of videos on. All right, brother Kyle is back, but we've done several videos on how to own land how to land a job in Africa. Entrepreneurship should be your main focus. But College Genesis, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine.
I got my iPad. I hope this doesn't.
It sounds better. See, we got to start doing it like this because it sounds. So you usually, what do you start off with? Is your laptop at first?
Well, it was my laptop first.
Right? Yeah. Just we gotta just cut the laptop until you upgrade.
Yeah, I hope this works better.
It sounds good. That's what I'm saying. We need to just cut the laptop.
Yeah. Okay. Now, like what I was saying before was about the situation we're in right now is everyone's jockeying for position. You know what I'm saying? Everyone basically understands. Like, let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
As far as females are concerned, right? Females and beauty standards, everything like that. Everyone's jockeying. Let's go back to this thing.
Go ahead.
Let's say in unison. Everyone's jockeying for position.
Everyone's jockeying for position.
Now, when you talk about white supremacy, everyone's jockeying for position, right? They don't want an African nationalist revolution to take place. They want to get. That's why they want to kill this whole Black Panther. They want this to go away. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why? Because everything about this movie was different from what we were going on. Everyone's jockeying for position. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce knows his father said the same thing. He said, "Look, the reason why Beyonce is popular is because she's light skinned.
Light skinned with the blonde.
Bayism. Like blonde weave on everyone's jockeying position. Beyonce is popular because white people buy into her product. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everyone's jockeying. She understood. She hedged her bet. She's light skinned, and I'm gonna use that to my advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why she went solo and everything like that. That's the way it is. Now she'll compensate.
Beyonce's dad said that if Beyonce's mom was, he didn't date dark skinned women, I guess.
Yeah, because in Alabama, that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? If you were in college or whatever, he said they had a brown paper bag at the college that he went to, you know what I'm saying? But he was a sports, so he didn't have to take it, you know what I'm saying? Right. You have these people that are class of Black people that jockey a position. Like I said, this is another thing I'm gonna talk about, right? It's very, very, very controversial, right? You have Black people, right, who want to benefit from the pain and suffering of the masses, but they never go through suffering. You know what I'm saying? They the type of Black people who white people, we don't mess with them. They look like civilized, mostly mixed race Black people. You know what I'm saying? Right. They look civilized, right? But that's those same people who go and say, "Oh, people have been struggling." I'm like, Negro, you had it good all this time. You a house slave. You know what I'm saying? You a house slave. You hedged your bet with white supremacy. It's a mass of Black people that suffer the lynchings and burnings and all this kind of stuff like that. You didn't have to go through all that. Right. You know what I'm saying? You hedged your bets on white man being always in power. And so therefore you want to lobby on our behalf, you know what I'm saying, for your little bit of crumbs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants crumbs on the white man's table. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And let me give you an example. World War One, you had like 200,000 black people, Africans that fought for the Allies in World War One.
Right.
They weren't gonna put that. They want to spill that much, but they want the empires, but they're not willing to spill all white blood. So they basically build the empires and they recruit black people fighting for their wars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
About 200,000 black men fought in World War One. Right. You would think the world would say, you know something, let's give these people something. We carved up all of Africa. We have nothing, nothing for them, and they're hungry in Jamaica. They have no interest. They have no representation. Everything like that. You know, you would think that, right? That's what led rise to who? Marcus Garvey. You know what I'm saying? We just fought this war, saved the Allies and everything, and everybody came away to the table with something at Versailles and came away with something. But the bottom line is Garvey noted it right there. He said, look, the reason why we didn't have anything to gain tangible, right, is because the people that's representing us want the vague and abstract. We want equality. We want integration. You know what I'm saying? These are and I mean to keep picking on mixed race people in our community and everything like that, but it's almost like if they weren't there, you know what I'm saying? If they had to really deal with the masses of black people, we would be much further in Black America. You know, all the things they'll talk about, racial equality, all these things like this, stuff like that, is when white people say, okay, you know something? I like what you're saying. We can accommodate you on that. What do you need? You need a grant for your school. You need a grant for this. You need money for your publishing your newspaper. We can make you look like you're progressing. Everything fine. You see, they temporarily, those leaders will live a good life because they got funds coming in. Their meal, it's a hard world. They're getting fed. You know what I'm saying? They got nice clothes. The masses of people never benefit from any of this crap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The masses of people never benefit from any of this crap. Why? Because the masses don't benefit from white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? It's only those people at the top or chosen black people
Boule.
benefit from the thing. They act like brokers.
Would you call them Boule?
Yeah, Boule. Let's say the Boule. You know what I'm saying? They benefit from the crumbs from the white man's table. And the white man uses them to say, okay, well, what do your people need? What do your people need? They don't know what our people need because they're disconnected from the people. We're just the masses are just a vague abstraction. You know what I'm saying? But when we had the Great Migration, you had black people who were able to come up north, and people that were once sharecroppers in the South got industrial jobs in the North. We built the middle class. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't no boule or anything like that. That was just black people using their own hard work and sweat. You know what I'm saying? That's the real Black America. You know what I'm saying? We've always been an independent people. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about jockeying position. Now we have a situation right now where people are like, oh, you black folks. And everything. This is another thing I'm going to talk about.
Go ahead.
You have people who will come to America and start. Do you see that video I put up with Gary, Indiana? Remember that video I put up with Gary?
Yeah. Now, what were you saying that the infrastructure for Gary is perfect for us to,
the infrastructure is fine. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You try to go find most countries in the world that has developed infrastructure like that in those few blocks. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the problem is that infrastructure is still not paid for. Infrastructure is financed over decades through tax base. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. So you think you're gonna we just buy up the neighborhood? Well, guess what? You gotta buy up that infrastructure, that land, and everything like that. The taxes and everything like that. That comes along with it. You know, because what makes that property value, and so because that house sits on the grid. That grid, you got sewer system, you have lights, you have power, you have gas, you have all those things. Utilities are still there. But the thing is, what you didn't have was generations of people building wealth. You know what I'm saying? They deliberately took jobs out of these areas and economically starved them. You know what I'm saying? And then we want to go back and blame the same people who who had no power to stop this. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at black people did good in Pittsburgh and these people. I met this one lady a couple of years ago from Pittsburgh. She was like, I can tell, one thing I love about our people, right?
Go ahead.
I can see people from what the hell? Hold up. I could see people from different areas and everything, and they were from one guy. He said he was from Gary, Indiana, and his wife just happened to be Pittsburgh. I was like, wow, I'm gonna get a story here. You know what I'm saying? Right. And already I sprung it on. So you guys from the steel belts, yeah. I'm retired here and whatnot from the steel industry. I got so much good benefits. I'm trying to sell them healthcare. I got so many good benefits. I got this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, what about the future? Well, now, it ain't like it was when I was coming up and whatnot. This, that, and the other thing. I got in there, did 30 years and whatnot. I'm saying? I retired and blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, Gary, Indiana, just, there's no steel. I mean, the steel industry is just really bad in Gary, Indiana. But those jobs sustain Black America, even though they were never enough. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a steel, even though you may have Black people have a steel job, we fight for the life to keep that job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That job was your position in the world. You know what I'm saying? It was like you fed families, you raised generations of people on blue collar skilled work. Now you don't have that anymore. Now that's not the fault of Black people. You'll hear like fools like Larry Elder. Well, it's not your fault. Stop blaming the white man. So who else can we blame? You, as the white man, asked us to stay in this country.
Right.
Matter of fact, he insisted that he keeps insisting that we're Americans. But we're Americans, and they don't have the respect that, okay, if you have a community that you're not going to integrate with, you're not going to assimilate with these people, then you got to give them some sort of infrastructure so they can sustain themselves. That means you have to create a Black business class. Now, all these things that would help Black America and stuff like that will give us a legitimate place in America has never been suggested, proposed. Why? Because the so-called Black Democrats are in the pocket with people who bleed us dry. You know what I'm saying? They're in pocket of the white racist unions. You know what I'm saying? They're in pocket with the corporate America. All these things do not want to ever see Black people have any industries, have any businesses, everything. That's not even part of the thing. I have never heard Obama even suggest Black business. I never even heard him suggest Black business as a way out of poverty in the inner city, if he even addressed the issue at all.
He didn't know. No.
So
but you know what he did? It's weird. He didn't do it in the inner city, but he had this African entrepreneur initiative in Kenya.
Yeah, of course.
I mean which doesn't help. It doesn't help kids in Southside Chicago, but
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, okay, we can talk about entrepreneurship someplace else, but not in America. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. In America, we have to hope and pray that I don't know what it is, because the bottom line is you now have two generations of the gust of Black America not working. You know what I'm saying? And this is where the culture of degradation is coming from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what we're faced with. And the reason why it's happening, why everybody's abandoning the Black community and everything, is because everybody's like, they look at the situation and they appear on the thing and they appear credible. No one ever drills them. Like, I would be a lamb to the slaughter right now before I would get up and say I'm a Black leader. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They want the so-called title of leadership. This is very important. This speaks to the heart of the American Negro versus the African Americans who went to Liberia. They're like that. The Black man in America wants the title of leader, and he wants all the accolades and everything, but he don't want to bear any responsibility.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He don't want to bear any responsibility.
It's that I'm a leader, but I'm not a role model.
Yeah, I want to do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, I'm a leader, but I'm not a role model.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a leader, but the reason why it's their fault. I thought you were a leader. I thought a leader could really do something. White America, they had leaders. Benjamin Franklin was a leader. Mm-hmm. The leaders loved them and provided for them. Thomas Jefferson was a leader. George Washington was a leader. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he loves his people, loves his race, and loves his heritage. And he will kill for and provide for, carve out a place for them. And don't apologize. Let me give you an example. Do you know when the Declaration of Independence was written? It was called the most egregious document ever written. Think about it. Now we look at Declaration of Independence. Okay, yeah, it's Declaration of Independence, found America. At the time, people read it. It was like, this is the most craziest thing I've ever read. The most egregious document on a scale so huge.
Right.
How can you talk about you declare yourself as happiness and depart from the King of England and stuff like this? Is crazy. Most of the people thought these men were insane.
Of course.
When they wrote the Declaration. Now it's like, I guess they were
never
right.
happened.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, same thing with the Boston Tea Party. They're like, are you crazy? But now
are you crazy?
The greatest revolutionary act ever.
Yeah, it's saying the Boston Tea Party. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna burn these ships of the British East India Company. You know what I'm saying? In the Boston Harbor. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna start charging them taxes and duties and everything like that. You're not gonna dump free tea on the soil. We have a right with taxation without representation. All these things in history, if you look at America and say, why is it the white man thinks one way and we do another?
Right.
We don't sit back and say, wait a minute here. You're telling me we can't get no justice in your courts? You tell me we can't get a fair shake? You're always blaming us for the crime in the inner cities. We have no unemployment crime. Look at all the Milwaukee. Black people have no power to change the situation in Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? You have no power. We can't change what's going on in Detroit.
Right.
Who gets elected? So now when we say it's time for us to look beyond America, you know what I'm saying? It's time for us to look beyond America. It's time to part ways with America and do our own thing. I don't want to hear anything, any opposition. I think I really set that up really well. Did that set well, Dynasty, where I'm going to for the next segment of this?
Absolutely. Yeah, because now since we're getting into the separate from America, Akatunde Bowden, he said in the chat room, where are we going to set up? He's a dentist. He has skills. How does he get involved?
Okay, well,
that's the next question. People want to know.
People want to get involved. Like I said, what I would say is this. What I would say is this. Unfortunately, like I said, we have plans, right? But we don't have the numbers. If we were like any, let me give you an example. I used to go on different white boys, Asian boys sites of design cities. If white people were in the situation we're in right now, and the opportunity that we could have probably on the African continent, it would have been a done deal years ago. Because I've seen white boys say, "Look, I got a futuristic city." They be doing architectural designs of cities and submitting them and stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, I love to build this street right here. We don't have black people with that mind. You know what I'm saying? We have engineers even in BAIO, but we don't have enthusiasts. I'm seeing something in us, right? Because we are still stuck. I have no idea. This is what angers me. We don't have the basic love for ourselves like everybody else. When you see white boys driving these doing these sketch model cities, they say I can blow Dubai out the door. I said they was like this. Okay, we got this building right here. We got this underway tunnel right here. This is where a monorail could go. This is where these buildings could join right here. And I'm looking at this. Wow. I mean, and the way they do this 3D stuff, and then they would put the stuff on there, and it's like a city. They had the city lights and everything. I'm like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this is our dream city right here. You know what I'm saying? We could build a city state right here. So right now you got these smart cities, smart city competition, where people designing their own smart cities, but they have no place to practice them.
Right.
So it could be the fact that if we don't be careful, they could actually go to Africa without us and be like, hey, look, we got these ideas for these. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Africa's a frontier, but we don't have black people in America who really committed to being black and being your race. You are not going to turn white one day. White people are not going to stop being racist. God made us black and whatnot, and that's what he made us to be with. He made us to be with our own. You know what I'm saying? And until we get that through our thick heads and everything, and stop playing around. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I hear nationalists talking about, well, we got this. No, we need a land, a nation of our own. That's the mindset we have to do. We have to get that mind first. Once we have that mind, everything else will flow in place. You know, the good dentist, tell the dentist to join a BAL website. You know,
yeah, let me put that in the chat room. Let me put that in the chat room right now.
That's the first step. Get to know us. You know, join us and get with like-minded people and start socializing and fellowship. Yes, if not for ourselves, the next generation should have something that we never had. We're not going to give them another Gary, Indiana. We're not going to give them another Detroit. It's time for us to take what's ours. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're a man the fuck up and get with me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about right now. Man the hell up and whatnot. Stop pussyfooting. I don't want to hear about what Spike Lee has to say about Trump. I don't want to hear about all this nonsense about what's this Starbucks, all this kind of stupid stuff that's going on. I can care less about all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's important is that we have a nation of our own one day. You know what I'm saying? For future generations. You know what I'm saying? That's what's important. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that, then we are finished. You know what I'm saying? We are finished as a race. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people all the time, I said, that's the thing. Now, jockeying for position, you know. Now we're gonna move over to on the global stage. Now you see, I covered.
Let me ask you this real quick, Kyle. I was listening to Professor James Smalls, and then I don't want to mention the guy's name, but we have an acquaintance on Facebook, and Professor James Smalls pretty much confirmed it from what he said, that they're not to single out Africans, but Africans who come to America who partner with white supremacy over black.
Of course. It's called jockeying position. And like I said on the last show, I said, like I was telling my brother, I said it's easy to say, let's just all consult Africans. Oh, that would be easy. But the thing is, though, a lot of people have been Igbos and Yorubas for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? And they see an advantage. And they're like this. The whole thing is when they come over here, they're going by the relationship they had with Europeans over 400 years, which wasn't as bad as the relationship we had. You know what I'm saying? Even like when people notice that most of the black radicalism in Harlem and stuff like that mainly come from the descendants of the people from the Carolinas and the deep South. You know what I'm saying? The more deeper the South, the more people tend to be radical when they got to New York, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The slavery, the institutional slavery in America was horrible and bitter because all these other people, they had slavery, but they didn't have one thing. Usually they were in the majority, right? They had rebellions and stuff like that. They had some freehold. In America, they used to burn our ancestors alive just to show you that you.
Hey, hold on. Let me cut you. I gotta cut you off. Damn, sorry to do this. All right. So Fia Joseph says, "Bro, I'm Nigerian. We're definitely not jockeying for position. We're just more diplomatic and don't show our real emotions." Now, this being diplomatic, what does Nigeria have to show for being diplomatic?
Yeah, they have nothing. All they do is get a job, get a position. And I told you this afternoon, my friend John Cash of Metro Rail, right, is in Nigeria. And he said Nigerians do well. They got good businessmen and everything like that. But they got to bring in South Africa to build malls for them. And South Africa is choosing what retailers and everything to go in the mall. Now you can say, okay, well, Nigeria is still getting rich because they got all their own retail. But the thing is, though, Nigeria is supposed to be the superpower. You know what I'm saying? Nigeria's businessmen are supposed to be building malls across the continent. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be the leaders of Africa, you know what I'm saying, in the black world. You know what I'm saying? So them jockeying position. Now, since you brought up Nigeria, right? Okay, let's go back a couple of decades, right, to the situation in the Ogoni region in Nigeria. When Shell Oil was spilling oil, and he had the Ogoni, Kemisaro gave a speech, and some Ogoni youth militants killed some of their chiefs, because they were on the payroll of Shell and the federal government of Nigeria, right? So they got killed when I called them traitors and sellouts, whatever. The government went into the Ogoni land, arrested Ken Saro-Wiwa. He had nothing to do with it. Since he was a figurehead to frighten the Ogoni youth or whatever like that. They put him on. They had a tribunal, put him on trial for like 2 days, found him guilty, said we're going to hang. This brilliant professor and they hung him. You know what I'm saying? Right away, the British recalled some of their diplomats, and they put sanctions on Nigeria, on Abacha's regime, and stuff like that. At the time, I was Team Nigeria and stuff like that, But the thing is, that was 23 years ago, and the situation in the Delta has gotten worse. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's diplomacy, Nigeria should have been back then saying it's time for us to nationalize these oil industries. You know what I'm saying? And using that diplomacy, like she's talking about, to get in with the United States so well and around the world so well, so much political capital around the world so well that they could survive a proposed sanctions, whatever like that, from the UK. But no, get this. Anytime something happens in Nigeria, right, somebody's angry or something like that with a government official and everything, the first thing they do is run to the UK. You know what I'm saying? Right. How you going to be being diplomatic when you basically don't have faith in your own institutions and your own government? You got to run across seas and hide in London and take shots at your own country from afar. That's not being diplomatic. It's not. And then as far as like coming to America, right here, you realize that there's an ongoing racial strife in America. You know what I'm saying? You see that. You see, okay, well, black people in America and white people are not really getting along. There's racial problems, you know. Now, white people want us to bend, and that is never going to happen. White people want to basically us to bend and basically bow down to the American flag and bow down and say, God, thank you for being here, bless this country and everything. And we are not going to do that because why? Because that would be spitting on the graves of our ancestors. So for whatever reason, you have to understand that we're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? You as an African immigrant will be willing to do that because you don't give a damn about the millions of Africans that died at sea in America. Now, some black people are patriotic. Okay, that's fine. I give it to them. You're patriotic. You made your peace with America thing. But white people want more than that. They don't even want us questioning. You know what I'm saying? America. They want us to say things like America's the greatest thing. Slavery was a good thing. They don't even want to be like, look, we're sorry. We moved on this bill. You know what I'm saying? They want to say they had did no wrong. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, Mr. Nigerian, they say that the problem with the slave trade was on the Africans selling each other. They completely exonerate themselves. They said, well, if we wouldn't have bought them if nobody was selling them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's like just like a police, he busted somebody with a pound of crack in his car and whatnot. Well, I wouldn't be buying this. A crack dealer, he's out there saying, the crack dealer justification saying, look, I'm just supplying the need. You see how the slave trade and the people justify it is criminal? It's a criminal mind. America has a criminal mindset from the beginning. You could justify a crime against humanity for your own personal gain. So that's what I want to say about the Nigerian situation. Now, Nigerians come over here, they want to be with whites and everything like that. They go through the extra lengths. Now, black people and white people, for the most part, as much as you think you're going to get closer to white people, nobody's closer to white people than we are, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But what Nigerians will do is this. They'll laugh at racist jokes. You know what I'm saying? When the subject about crime comes up and everything, they'll sit there and talk about us to them, white people.
Well, you know what? I hate to say it. You have a lot of so-called black conservative Republicans that do the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. They'll say, okay, yeah, those people, blah, blah, these people that said, thing. And they don't understand. When a racist comes out, when he wants to knock a black person off the head, he's not going to pull out your card and ask you whether you're conservative or liberal
or Nigerian or
you're Nigerian, African American. You are black in this country. And that's something we've always understood. Once you step on this American soil, you are no longer whatever you thought you was in Africa. You know what I'm saying? What you are is what
you got repeat that again. Repeat that again.
I said one thing about America was this. You understood that no matter what a white person was in Europe, right? He could have been a sheriff, a peasant, a bum. That white skin puts him in a certain caste. And no matter what you was in Africa, you was a king, you was a warrior, you was a scholar, whatever you was. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you thought you was in Africa, once you land on American soil, right? You are what they say you are. You a nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really comes down to it. And the white man is the white man. He's the master. You know, and that's what it is right now. White people want to be reassured that their mastery is still intact. That there's still things that can happen to black people that can never happen to them. Let me say it again. They want to make sure that there's things that can happen to black people that can never happen to them. So if you think that you're getting sympathy by posting these videos up of them knocking you upside the head, no. It's only saying, you know something? Yeah, it works. That's my America. It works. You know what I'm saying? The cops are not going to do me like that. You know, you should have complied. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what you get for talking back to a cop. Oh, the cops are just doing their jobs. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you're talking about they're defending a system that is theirs. That system ultimately is to protect them. When they see the police, they know when it comes down to it, you know, as much as they may dislike cops and everything, when it comes to you, black person, they know that cops and those guns and their gun laws and the NRA and everything is all about keeping them safe from us. And that's the reality. White people are not going to roll over one day and hand so-called people of color this country. You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
People of color have come a long way. You know what I'm saying? People of color suffer from indignities. People of color suffer from racism. And all white people say is boo hoo, boo hoo. People of color, we don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? You know, they don't give a damn about people of color. You know, what part of that don't we understand? They don't give a damn about people of color. You know what I'm saying? People of color.
Mm-hmm.
Most people of color are suffering, you know, from white privilege.
Mm-hmm.
Dear white people, would you please change? You know what I'm saying? That's what whole dear white people is jockeying for position. You
But
know what I'm saying?
that series
That's stupid. I have never seen one of them.
I haven't. I just wasn't. It just didn't grab my attention at all. I mean,
when I see these stupid millennial types up there, dear white people, you know what I'm saying? Yes, white people are white. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is there's something to being white in this country. This country was built on that. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be American, right? That's the whole that's what people are missing it. I don't know what part of history that people have missed this country. This country was founded on slavery, the massacre of Native Americans, and basically the open boistering of the so-called white race.
Right.
No, the manifest destiny of the white race. You know, I don't know what I guess people have different versions of America. You know, I clearly watched American history. Right. Everything was about the manifest destiny of the white race. You know what I'm saying? E pluribus unum. Out of many, we are one. And those things, they have all the things of the Netherlands, Portugal, Ireland, and England, and all these other white France, and all these people. Out of many, we are one. There's no African in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So how are people? So in other words, the only way you can be American is to forget you're black. You know what I'm saying? Turn a blind eye to your color. You know, forget what you look like. So you walk around hating yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some black people who are like this, like Larry Elder. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Your boy, what's his name? Oh, damn, what's his name?
Kevin Jackson.
No. Oh my goodness, man.
Jesse Lee Peterson.
Jesse Lee Peterson.
Yeah.
Good goodness.
Oh, he found his place in America. He's jockeying for position.
Golly, Jesse.
You know what I'm saying? The bottom line, as long as he keeps saying what they want to hear, that there's nothing wrong with America. And then now the same thing about they get speech about black people. You don't work hard enough. Black people lazy and all stuff like that. You will never, in a million years, have them go to a white industrial rally and where people have been out of work for generations. Like you got towns, the poorest towns in America are white. People don't even know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you'll never, every time you talk to them, they interview the people. Well, I get by on my Social Security, SSI, and I sell some bottles here, and I make it. You will never have the narrative that they call them lazy and everything. It's an overwhelming sympathy. You know what I'm saying? You see the narrative?
Yes.
You know, even though they were probably forewarned that a plant in that town was going to shut down because of high cost, you know what I'm saying? Union rules and everything like that, high cost. I don't know why plants leave in small towns. A lot of these towns were built up around one single industry, a coal industry, fabrication plant and everything. When they shut down, the towns die. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when black people, we lose jobs and everything like that, and we're out of work, we're lazy. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever tells those white people, why don't y'all move to the next town and work 2 McDonald's jobs?
Mm-hmm.
White people are allowed to keep their dignity and their pride. You know what I'm saying? Whereas everybody wants to gang up on black people. So in other words, basically what they're saying is, you mean to tell me there's more opportunities for black people than there are white people? That black people live in more heavily job-filled areas than white people are? There's more white people unemployed on welfare and food stamps than there are black people. By far. The poorest towns in America are white, not black. In fact, you got some parts of America, some communities in America, black communities in America are thriving right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's DeSoto, Texas. You got Unionville in New York City, you know what I'm saying? Queens, South Jamaica, Queens, Jamaica Estates, several other places up there in the Northeast, you know what I'm saying? And here in the Mid-Atlantic area, you know? You got black areas that are doing well, but no one ever talks about that. I had this one guy on my show a couple of years ago. I forgot his name. T something, right? He was an older brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know he was older because he was doing business in 1978. So you know the brother's old. But this brother, man, he said, Colin, man, I love you to death, man. And I listened to you one night, and I found the call. Like, this guy was a millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He bought a golf course and a resort, whatever like that. And he said, man, I listened to your show. And, the way you talk about black women and stuff like that, I turned over a new leaf and everything. And and I'll tell you right now, man, he tells me a story live in the air. He said, yeah, the sister wanted to ride home. Normally I'd be like, yeah, this, that, the other thing. But I thought about you, and I took her home and got inside her house and everything like that. I said, that's good, man. You did good. But the point I'm trying to make is this. You have black people out there. He said, now his partners were white. He said, what do you think about it? I said, look, man, do a partner what you got to do. And he has this, and I heard it before. He has this, it's like a resort. It's in the southern part of Georgia. It's in Atlanta area. It's in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's in Atlanta area, And he has a resort in either it's in Atlanta or southern Georgia. I can't remember what it was. But he's definitely in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And he owns a lot of land and stuff like that. He's called T. His name was T something. But I don't know. Nice guy. Real nice guy and whatnot. But the point is, yeah, he said, yeah, man, we're doing big things down here and whatnot. He said the last minute he was trying to get this loan. And he said, man, he went to all these loan officers. I said, I don't know how you did it, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have gave up. He said, I would have gave up too and whatnot. But he said he went to his last bank, whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like 30 banks and presentation on that. And one last guy, he said something to the guy. Well, if you blah, 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 he did something. And the guy said, you know something? I'm going to give you what you want. But even though he knows that was a 1 in a million shot, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the deal made him a millionaire, you know what I'm saying? But he said, yeah, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. He has a golf course. He owns a golf course. So if I track him down, any black person owns a golf course in Georgia, that's
let me look up black-owned golf course in Georgia.
Golf course and resort.
All right, so let me ask this, Kala. So people are bringing up in the chat room, the people who are jockeying for position next to white supremacy, what will happen to them if white supremacy falls or the economy?
No, they believe in the invincibility and inevitability of white supremacy. That's what they're hedging their bet on. They don't even see China emerging past this. You had Tariq Nasheed or Jared Taylor. He's like, well, Jared Taylor told him, we're not even a power anymore. Yes, you are. He said, I'm telling you right now, he goes, you got China and India passing the white race. So what are you guys going to, Jared Taylor, a white supremacist, says, what are you guys going to do when we fail?
He said that for real.
You got to listen to that interview. He said, what are you going to do when the white man has failed? You going to keep blaming us? Instead of, when you guys going to go on your own and build something? And Tariq said, nah, white supremacy is everywhere, everything. White supremacy is everywhere. This, that, the other thing. And they were like sitting there like, are you trolling or are you serious? You got to listen to this video.
I'm going to listen to it, man. I'm going to listen to it.
That's what everybody was like, Tariq, man, you good when you talk about celebrities and everything, but you debating this guy is way out of your league. You know what I'm saying? Because he kept going blah, 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 back and forth, this, that, the other thing. It was obvious Tariq's not educated, and he didn't know what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? He said, he tried to talk about Korea, didn't even get his facts together. He said, well, this, that, the other thing, this territory give him facts and specific. He's like, well, you see, we did this, and he didn't have any facts to back what he was saying up. He didn't get the dates right, and like that. I'm like, damn, this is what y'all talking about is so enlightened. This is the guy that's going against Umar Johnson. Are y'all crazy? You know? But like I said, Tariq is good at when you talk about these celebrities, when you talk about the Root and these all these what's that that Cynthia whatever. That's good for him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a master of that. You know, he's a master of calling out these white supremacists in the thing. When I support him on that shit, you know. But we start talking about geopolitics and natural stuff. That's not his strong point, you know. But the whole thing is most black people have not even thought about. You know, there was even black people who didn't even think of what they'll do if slavery ended.
Right.
They're like, well, what? We're not slaves no more. What do we do? We basically have hedged our bet with the white man. You know, so even though all the signs predict that they're going down, you know what I'm saying? They're going down. And you got China and all these other people. Do you see the world global infrastructure China's building? the new Silk Road.
It's crazy. It's everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? And
all throughout Africa, you know, they pretty much run Jamaica now. I mean, South China Sea. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah, and so the bottom line is, where's a black man gonna wake the hell up? You know what I'm saying? We're so busy fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? We don't understand. Now, there's some people who are hedging their bets with China now, as you see. We had this. I said, well, China has to be checked too. No, China's our friend. China's our friend. You can't tell Africans any different.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some people who want to join the Commonwealth again. They're so desperate they want to rejoin the Commonwealth. You know what I'm saying? They're so desperate they got French soldiers taking gold out of the ground in Mali. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah. And I'm saying to myself, the black man is just, Marcus Garvey said, we're going to pay for being disorganized.
Mm-hmm.
We need one friggin' state, one geopolitical entity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's completely free from colonialism and free from white supremacy, run by Africans from the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? With a Pan-Africanist black supremacy, people don't like that term, but black supremacy, Pan-Africanist ideology. You know what I'm saying? Not to be racist or nothing like that, but that state has to be for the ultimate liberation of black people globally. Right now, we don't have that. Don't tell me that we rule the planet. We're all everywhere when you're underneath everybody's feet all over the world. That's another thing. You know, people say, well, we everywhere. We could be everywhere. You're everywhere, but you're in the gutter everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You in the freaking garbage, eating out of garbage all across the globe. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me you're everywhere when you're getting your head kicked in over everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So what else? What they saying in the chat room?
No, that's it right now. Just you know, they brought up. I mean, of course, we spoke on Zimbabwe. We spoke on. I mean, you brought up China and the Silk Road. You know how a lot of Africans, you know, because your boy from South Africa, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'd rather partner with white supremacy than you guys. And you know, it's always something petty because a black American called you an African booty scratcher. No,
you know something? I never heard that term before.
Are you serious?
Have
you not seen Boys in the Hood?
Yeah, but I never thought it was anything like this, because when I was growing up, right, we had brothers, people from Africa, but when you're living in New York, you're coming around people from all over the world all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in New York, it's a little different because you got black people that go, Africans that go to black people's church. The thing is, when you come in New York, right? New York, the black churches was like the AME church, the Baptist church, and everything. You got people from the islands in Africa, Ethiopia. We had Ethiopian girls, man. Oh my God, beautiful. That would attend our churches. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Had people from Nigeria and everything like that coming to church, and they basically back then they were like, "Yo, we black. You know, this that we're Africans. We're all one people. We're Christians. We're all one people. This that and the other thing. You know."
Right.
What you have right now in this generation is you have Africans coming over here, and they're basically moving to areas where they don't really have to deal with it. Then again, remember something. We moved out of the large cities and everything like that now, you know? And you got Africans coming over here. They're living in mostly white suburbs, and they're not really socializing with.
That's what they're doing. And you made a point. And they're moving to these white suburbs that are like literally in the middle of nowhere. Like in the middle of nowhere. Like, Kansas.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. And I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing out there?
Right. And it's cold as hell.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they're moving out there. And so therefore they're not socialized with African Americans. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when they do have a negative encounter, that just casts aspersion over everything we've done over the years. But they don't see that we had people that Africans used to attend now HBCUs for generations. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All our history is lost together. You know, and then I'm saying what happens is this. It's like if you have one African who come over here and he has something, he reads up with an ignorant African American, right? You know what I'm saying? That's all African Americans.
Yeah, it's all African Americans.
But when it's white people, you know, it's like,
well, yeah, right.
They'll let the white person call them nigga, this, that, the other thing. Why? Because they are jockeying for position. Jockeying position means that, you know how you tell somebody who's a boss when you go around somebody who's in power? Oh, remember, let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
Remember that movie Goodfellas? Goodfellas?
Yeah.
Remember the part in the at the beginning when they're outside, he's looking outside the window and watching gangsters and stuff like that, and they're pulling up in their Cadillacs. Remember that part?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he was like, he goes, "Hey, get 30," and he's like, he grabs 30, and they jump around, And then he goes, Paulie may have not knew from nobody. So Paulie comes to the door, right? And they all just straighten up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. Now, they all say, that recognizes that who's the boss? Paulie. You know what I'm saying? Because they're all saying, oh, it's your fault. It's your fault. You know what I'm saying? Yes. They see white people as the boss. You know what I'm saying? White people as the boss. This is who we have to suck up to. You know what I'm saying? This is how we have to carry. We could take. They could take their racism better than we can. You know what I'm saying? They white Africans are pretty much immune to racism the way we are, because when white people talk about them and call it, they're like, you don't know me. They understand. There's almost like look laughing at them like, you don't know anything about me, my culture, my heritage, anything. You're a freaking fool. You know what I'm saying? The white person will be like, oh yeah, you Africans, whatever like that, and the Africans have the last laugh because you can't define what you don't know. See, in Black America, they can define us. You know what I'm saying? Because they control this country. Now, for a time, right, we did have our own little culture in America that was hidden from them. You know what I'm saying? But thanks to rappers and everything right here, all our culture got now they know everything. They know all lingo. They know everything. We have nothing. We have nothing for ourselves anymore.
And you know what's crazy? You have white people, non-blacks, who are making millions now just being ratchet, acting ratchet, making millions.
Yeah. Making videos, acting ratchet and stupid because it's cute when they act ratchet. You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's cute. Right, making millions.
Making millions. You know what I'm saying? And so the bottom line is, like I said, you know, that's what you have in America. I believe American culture is not going to change. World Star Hip Hop is not going any place, right? I believe it's time to just put a period on America and say it's time for it to go. Let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
If I say that America is on its deathbed, right? Mm-hmm. It's time for us to friggin' take this dead weight off us before it kills us and everything. You know, you will have Negroes out here. No, we can't do that. I'm like, do you understand the signs? You know what I'm saying? That it's time for us to have a nature, time for us to link with our motherland. It's time for us to build Africa. It's time for us to go forward for the future. No, we can't do that. So what are you holding on to, America? Something that's dying. Something not only is dying, but don't even really want our help. They would love for us to do it anyway, but they act like they don't have the decency to come and say, you know something, we've been through a lot, Black people in Black America. Let's build something new. Let's build something great, and let's all be American. They're doubling down on look at all the Black crime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It justifies racism. It justifies that they want to be racist, right? But they want us to be part of this country. They want to tell NFL players you can't kneel and protest. They're forcing you to stand for the national anthem. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's crazy.
So in other words, basically, it's going to get to the point where they're going to have you standing for the Pledge of Allegiance in school at gunpoint. You know what I'm saying?
I want you need to repeat that again. Now let me ask you this.
It's going to come to a time, right?
Go ahead.
Where they're going to make you do the Pledge of Allegiance at gunpoint. You know what I'm saying? Right away, there was one kid who got beat up by a teacher for not standing for the pledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what's tinkering on violence. Because everything white people have been taught about America, this gradualism, the narrative is we started with slavery and we ended with Martin Luther King and everything's good. But you and I know a history, you know what I'm saying? Of people, stuff never changed, you know what I'm saying? That's their history. Martin Luther King is part of white America's history. You know, we had Martin Luther King and March on Washington and all the stuff like that, this, that, you know, thing. And we had Bill Cosby and I Spy. And look at that day when, what's her name? Star Trek, Black Girls, Uhura. Kiss William Shatner. Whoa, that was a monumental time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Look at that. We got this. We're making progress. You know what I'm saying? We're making progress.
Hey, Chima wants to know, how do you feel about this? Since we're speaking on jockeying for position of white supremacy, a lot of people thought Meghan Markle
oh Lord
was a power move. Can you
look? This is what I'm talking about.
hey, we gonna rise up because
rise up when Al Sharpton. This is the end of white supremacy, man. We're really good. A girl that basically did cosmetic surgery to get what little African features out of her and got that little skinny tiny nose, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And she marries Prince Harry. And so therefore, my whole thing is this. And then every time you have these people out here, like Serena Williams shows up. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
She shows up. You know what I'm saying? They're basically telling black women. There's a new show out right now that's coming out right here. That this ties. I'm gonna get back to Mary Markle. This ties into what I'm talking about, right?
Take your time.
This ties into what I'm talking about. So this topic is so interesting.
Go ahead.
There's a show coming out soon about this black woman that was made in 1930s that had magical powers, whatever. I don't know if you saw that, whatever.
It already sounds.
She had magic. She's kind of cute, right. And I'm saying to myself, right. I said I'm looking at the previews, right. And I wrote a comment. I said, let me guess. She has magical power. Then I saw the one white guy with a nerdy looking white guy. I said, let me guess. She is going to be his love interest and everything like that. The bed wench, the black woman with the white guy. I mean, remember Jada Pinkett's TV show, Dr. Hawthorne? She had to get with a white guy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This TV show, what's that? Scandals ended. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everything is about a jockeying position. You cannot have a black movie nowadays without a white person in there. You know what I'm saying? White people have to be part of everything we do. Everything black people do have to be about improving the relationship with white people. You know what I'm saying? Marrying with white people. You know what I'm saying? This is progress. Progress is getting along with white folks. You know what I'm saying? Intermarrying with white folks. You know what I'm saying? Intermarrying with black women. If white man sees you beautiful, you have finally made it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If little Brad sees you Buquisha beautiful and that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you do not see white people. You do not ever see white women portrayed in the movies and everything. That I got to get with this black guy because it's gonna save the world.
Right,
the world's a better place. The white man would be like, I don't give a goddamn if we never get along. You stay away from our women. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even to this day, 2018, you see all these black men getting lynched. Where do you think it's coming from?
I don't.
Brothers getting out there getting.
And you know. So there was a brother that allegedly committed suicide. And
you know how many alleged suicides they had? There's about 60 cases in the last 10 years of alleged suicides in the South.
Right.
Hey, go ahead, brother. You were saying about the case.
So he so allegedly here in Atlanta, not too far from the Georgia Dome, he committed suicide by lynching himself off of a bridge, and then you had a lady who allegedly lynched herself, hung herself off of a tree in front of a Walmart here in Atlanta.
Yeah, everybody just decided, you know something, man, so I had nothing else to do. Let me just go ahead and lynch myself today. Like I said, and you listen to white people say, well, all those black people that were lynched, when those crowds were standing around the black people lynched, they were just coming there watching a black man lynch himself.
Right.
And then you'll have some Negroes like, you know something? That makes sense, man. That makes sense. Okay. That makes sense, man. Yeah, we ain't meant to lynch y'all. That Negro got up there, hung himself, but all we were trying to do was get him down. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That makes sense. Okay. So I guess white people aren't that bad. I guess America is not that bad of a place. That's exactly what you have right now. It's still a dangerous place to be a black man.
Right.
Now, since we know that and everything like that, so 40 million people, the black man in America, right? It's up to us to decide our destiny. Diane, let me ask you a question. Do you believe the black race, the black man, let's say, forget about the black race. It's all about the black man. You know what I'm saying? The black man. There's a black man, because like I said, he obviously got the black woman. The white man spent billions of dollars giving them money for education, child care, and everything. White daddy's taking care of them. You know what I'm saying? Social services and everything. Mm-hmm. The average black woman ain't thinking about none of this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the men that build civilizations, that build a world. You know what I'm saying? It's men. It's the men that fight in wars. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The black man in America. So
somebody brought this up too, real quick. Golden Crust, the owner of because you're from New York, allegedly the owner of Golden Crust killed himself too. But
I get that. These were the Jamaican guy with the
yeah.
Oh, he was under a lot of stress and everything, but still, that was something shady about that.
Mm-hmm.
He has successful business and everything.
Very successful. They're
like that.
I'm out here in Atlanta.
Everybody loved this product and everything like that. So it's strange. Say strange. But I want to ask you a question: does the black man have a right to declare himself around the world? Now, the Moors and the clowns, they be, oh yeah, we're sovereign and whatnot. That ain't what I'm talking about. Does the black man in America have a right to say, you know something, the future of the black man in America, we want a land, a nation of our own?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We do not declare, we declare American government as persona non grata. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. And we could collectively declare Washington, D.C. as persona non grata. You know what I'm saying? That means we don't recognize you. We no longer recognize American sovereignty until like that. So anything right now, so that would basically usher in, this is the real stuff. That would usher into a thing, well, if these people are declaring themselves like, okay, well, we're just basically saying we're here, but we don't recognize the U.S. government. You guys impose the government over us and everything like that. And so bottom line is the only way out for you is to leave us alone when we pursue having our own nation state in Africa. You know?
Right.
They won't even do that. They'll think they were like ants. They're going to crush us back in the thing. See, the whole thing is they don't want us thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing the protests are missing. The protests are basically telling the NFL to kneel. But when you kneel against America, are you saying that you one day think that America is going to change?
Imagine, what if the NFL just decided not to show up? The players decided not to show up.
That's what I'm talking about. Why not show up at all? They don't want to do that. See, remember something. A lot of these guys in the NFL are the guys in their 20s. These are young guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These are young guys in their 20s. We're talking about you and I in our 30s and 40s and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So these guys are young guys. They don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? They're just doing it because, okay, they see police shooting stuff like that. And they're young. You know, they don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? And so they treat them like, okay, you know, like kids. Okay, you better get out there like a school principal. You know, it's that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because 15 years from now, these guys are like, well, they can write it off as a youth. I was young. That's why I don't take too much into this. People say, get into the NFL. Well, the NFL needs to do this. I said, I might get into this because I know a lot of these guys are young and whatnot. And when this is done and passed and everything like that, 15 years from now, these players will be like, you know something? I was young. I was impressionable. I was caught up in the moment. And society will forgive them. You know what I'm saying? You know? So focusing on football is not really what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm saying that if you can accept the fact that you have white people out there, black people out there who accept murder, robbery, rape, all kinds of vile stuff as normal. You can have Jay-Z up there bragging about his life of selling drugs and everything, and he's in the presidential palace. But yet you're going to talk to me and tell me that make me seem like I'm some sort of vermin because I'm a nationalist and I want a nation of my own. There's something wrong with that picture. There's something wrong with me because I believe in nationhood for my people, ultimately. You know what I'm saying? But it's perfectly all right to be once a drug dealer, to be once all stuff like that. You get all this stuff like that right on TV, get the red carpet thrown out for you and everything like that. But somebody who says, okay, land, infrastructure, nationhood, and everything. See, in other words, basically, so long as you're jockeying for position in America, you can do whatever you want. When we say land, infrastructure, nationhood, we are basically saying it's time to part ways with America. So as long as you try to stay inside the system, they'll invite you. You know what I'm saying? You'll get on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You'll get on. You know what I'm saying? And let's talk about even some of the people that call themselves black radicals and everything like that. You know?
Who you want to start with?
Okay, let's talk about the Nation of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really believe the Nation of Islam was really all that anti-American and all stuff like this that people portray themselves. I think the media made them out to be all that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, but they've always said that, you know, this is our land here in America because we built it as
well. They say that, but the whole thing is this though. I'm like this. Okay, they didn't want to participate in any activism in the black community. They told Malcolm X, no, we don't want to be involved in the activism in America. Why? Because the U.S. government was like, yo, look, man, I know you guys got followers and everything like that, but you guys aren't participating in demonstrations and everything where physical violence can happen. That's what the government was worried about. Physical violence, where since you keep your followers in line, they're out there selling newspapers and everything like that. That's something we can sell to the public. Back Muslims. And then the fact that you guys are cleaning people up and taking people off drugs and everything, that's a good thing. And the most important thing is you're telling black men to marry black women and stay away from white women. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore the government's like, okay, FBI, and I was like, okay, these we can live with these people. You know what I'm saying? We can live with them. You know what I'm saying? We can live with them. They're not going out there influencing white kids in the college campuses to join them. They're not speaking out against the Vietnam War. They're not involved in America's things. See, Malcolm's problem was he started talking about different countries and making speeches against the United States positions overseas and stuff like that, you know. And then when he went overseas, he met with Nigerians and everything like that, and he met him at the airport. Well, what'd you say about America? He said, I told the truth. He said, and Malcolm said, he said, look, the African, he said, well, the guy said to him, well, you guys are American. He said, no, I'm an African American. And he said, I was over in Nigeria, and I got nothing but brotherhood. I look forward to work with them, and they will look forward to work with us as African brothers. And they said, well, that's not going to happen because you're American. So you're going to tell a prominent Muslim in the Nation of Islam suddenly, after you basically put him, disenfranchise him, brutalize him, now suddenly when he's talking about linking up with Nigeria, and he said when he went to Kenya and all these other countries and everything, suddenly you want to Americanize us. Right. You want to make America a yang. You want to put, oh, you're American. You're different from them. You know, say African. Right. And Malcolm X was like, well, I didn't get that feeling. I felt brotherhood over there. So who are you as a white man? So in other words, the white man, we as black people are a liability. This idea of Pan-Africanism is powerful. And this is why they want to bring in so many Africans over here to turn them against us. You know what I'm saying? So they could go back to Africa. So, well, you don't want to mess with those people. I'm saying you don't want to mess with those people. And They got African Americans. Well, geez, Nigerians are greedy. They're always selfish and ambitious and everything like that. You know, because the bottom line is the white man offers them a job. Well, as long as they're holding the cards, as long as the white man holds the cards, it's like, okay, let me bring these Nigerians over here and let me give them scholarships. Let me get their best schools. And let me say, look, man, these guys perform so well. Look at this guy's a doctor. Look at these Nigerian family. His son got accepted into 15 colleges and whatnot. You know, and they'll say, the Nigerians will say something like, well, we believe in study, hard work, and America's a great, God bless America, this, that, and the other thing. But that goes on to the black people, like, yo, look, and these inner city schools and whatnot. See, if he can do it, then hey, you got no excuse. Right. You know what I'm saying? They play in this game with each other. You know what I'm saying? And what gets me is a lot of Nigerians won't be like, some of them will, right? But most of them be like, you know, something, yeah, you're right. Yeah, African Americans are lazy, blah, blah, blah. This that, and the other thing, you know, they don't take advantage of opportunities over here. Well, do you ever go to somebody, let's say, that's in the Rust Belt who have no jobs, or all these white kids who are graduating with no jobs and debt and everything? Are you basically telling them the same thing? You know what I'm saying? You're just lazy, you're not looking hard enough. It's only black people, our pain is mocked. You know what I'm saying? You got black people with college degrees can't get jobs. You know, you see people go for 3 or 4 years before they get a call. They got bills mounting up. They got to wait tables and everything like that. And so therefore, but it's only black people who are made fun of. Right. You know what I'm saying? Whereas white people, the economy's going to come back. You know what I'm saying? And black people, you don't have a job yet? You ain't looking hard enough. You lazy. And they was looking at that Nigerian guy, you know, he ran off the boat and he got a job. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what we're facing in America. We're facing that because a white man has people that are jockeying for position. As long as they have they're holding the gravy, you have Negroes from around the world who will hang their hats wherever the gravy is being poured. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They'll be walking by, no, like that. They smell the gravy. You know what I'm saying? They'll put their coat and their hat up and whatnot, and they'll sit down with their plate, you know, and they want the gravy put on their pork chops. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is this. Negroes are looking for wherever they can, they will hang their hat wherever the gravy is being poured. Let me say it again. Negroes will hang their hats wherever the gravy is being poured. Or
they'll bake bake their biscuits.
Yeah, you know, wherever the gravy is being poured, that's where Negroes will be. The bottom line is this: after all these years, we're not the ones holding the gravy. It's the white man.
Right.
You know, the white man holds the gravy. And what gets me is they can't even see the white man is getting his ass kicked on the world stage. But you got some people, some Nigerians, some people are. Well, I do give Africans one thing. At least they're smart enough to realize, yeah, well, at least we got China, this, that, and the other thing. You know, you got black people in America. You never hear them mention doing business with the Chinese in Africa. You ever hear them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mr. Rosenthal does. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But for the most part, oh yeah, we gotta go to Africa to say anything. I'm like, well, you got the Chinese over there and everything like that. Well, you know, and then you got these Negroes, and I believe in a healthy competition between the West and China and Africa, because Africa will benefit if they basically play their cards right. You know, if it's a really mutual situation, it could work out well. But if people are gonna take bribes and be used and everything, it could be a disaster.
True.
But you almost never hear black people in America even talk about the emergence of China and Brazil, countries like that.
No.
And India. India is the number one in the world as far as software. Some of the software I use for my business and whatnot comes from India. You know, CRM software, customer software for business. India, you know what I'm saying? They make the best software and telecommunications. That's where it's all at.
Let me ask you. So when it comes to tech, India is known for tech. I mean, there's certain industries that certain demographics and countries are known for. What can Africa be known for?
Well, Africa can right now, Africa is in a golden opportunity to be known for logistics.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the size of the continent, right? The
Right.
size of the continent, and you got it straddles two oceans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have two oceans. You have ports being built on both sides of the continent. You know what I'm saying? So getting goods from point A to point B through rail, land, sea, and everything like that could be the biggest move in history. Now, the telecommunications companies and the IT company, and you still need human capital, human labor. You know what I'm saying? This is where African Americans and the people from the West can partner with and set up their own IT firms. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
The ITC firms. If you can set up your ITC firm with the software and technology out right now, all you need is computers and the internet connection, because everything is cloud technology. You don't have to build a whole wall of storage data backs and everything like that like you did in the past. Everything is in the cloud. So all you need is computers and internet connections to have your ITC firm. You know what I'm saying? Processing information, trade, vouchers, all these things like that. If you work, codes, you know what I'm saying? Passwords, codes, all the stuff like that to make the flow of goods and services in the continent. That's going to be the next wave. Now, if we lose that, you know what I'm saying? We lose that edge right there and don't capitalize on it. Maybe you have to partner with India, you know what I'm saying, to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? If we don't or not, we are freaking finished. You know what I'm saying? We're finished. We'll be locked out electronically on the continent. That means we can't sell nothing because we can't log into certain data networks and stuff.
Hey, real
going with this?
Yeah, real quick, Kala. Akatune Bonus, shout out thank you for the super chat. He says, Professor Darity at Duke said that he was told by the admission office that they prefer Africans because they are more docile than African Americans.
Of course. They don't have to worry about Black Lives Matter. They don't have to worry about Stokely Carmichael said this and this, that, thing. They can fill their color quota with people that's going to basically just come in and do their stuff and go home. You know what I'm saying? Because when we look at Duke, that's why we have to start saying, okay, we say people of color, but we're talking about African American slave descendants. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we're the new people that's being marginalized. Because we're not jockeying on the whole. The masses are not jockeying position on the white supremacy. We have this crazy notion that we're going to challenge it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is like, and people come from the Caribbean, they're not trying to buck the system. They're trying to get their degree. Well, that's good though, because to be honest with you, the Caribbean community, man, I love them, man. They took care of us for generations in the North. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of issues when we came up from the South and everything. The Caribbeans ran our stores. They did a lot of professional work, a lot of our doctors and everything like that in the black community. That's what a family's all about. You do this and I do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the Caribbeans were big on education. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They were big on businesses and stuff like that. They're in their susus and everything. And the bottom line is they had a love. And I tell you, a love for our people. The people from the Caribbean, from Barbados, Bermuda, and stuff like that. All people I know, beautiful people, love their people. You know what I'm saying? They taught us how to be black, and love ourselves and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? This idea of black people, that's something new online with these Afro chic people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
African Americans, this, African Americans. You hear Cape Verde's talk about African Americans. You hear people from Haiti, one Haitian guy, I don't like black Americans. That's only because you're stupid and you get on the internet, you say stuff. Once you say it, it lives forever. If you don't mean it. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll have an African American respond back and everything. And so therefore, look, the bottom line is this. I believe that once black people start making moves in Africa and it's basically a done deal, we're going to do this and everything, I do believe our brothers and sisters not only won't be jockeying with the white man, they'll be jockeying for a position with us. You know what I'm saying? I really do believe that. But the black man in America got to pick himself up. If you want to live in the bottom of American civilization forever, just go ahead and say so. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if you want to basically make a stand somewhere, let's focus on building on the African continent and let's build this logistics and stuff like that. And don't apologize for it. When you say it like that, and we got millions of us thinking like that, then the right leadership is going to come along and say, you know something, I'm a businessman, I'm a millionaire. I think we should build this, everything. He'll have the social first, the cultural, economic, and political backing to build something. You have to have all those to build any sort of industry or infrastructure. You have to have the cultural, historical, the social, and all those things. That's what Japan does. You think Mitsubishi is just a company, Dinus? You think Mitsubishi is just a business?
No, that's like saying Amazon's just a business.
No. What I'm saying is this. I don't know Amazon thing. Sumitomo is a clan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Mitsubishi is a clan. They have all kinds of rituals, rites, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like it's like a fraternity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like a business fraternity on different levels. You know what I'm saying? Industrialists, traders, bankers, everything like that. It's a whole big giant. It's called the Zaibatsu. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I wanted to do years ago was create an African version of that and everything, but I realized that we can never do that until we have a land and state of our own. A cultural context. You know what I'm saying? I want to use the West African Nyamakala for crafts group system and the Dayula. The Dayula means trader. The Dayula traders of West Africa is what built West Africa. These men were skilled swordsmen and traders who carried goods throughout the West African region. They were very wealthy. You know what I'm saying? They built palaces for themselves. The Dayula. They wore colorful costumes with scarves and stuff like that. They were horsemen. They were acrobats and stuff like that. They were called the Dayula. Google it, the Dayula. You know what I'm saying? Dinus, Google it right now.
How you spell it?
Dayula. Dayula. Dayula.
And this is the Japanese.
No, this is West African.
The language.
It's a group, the Dayula trader. Dayulas are merchants and traders.
The people, the people. Okay, the Jula are Mande. They're part of the Mande ethnic
group. The Mande group. You know what I'm saying? I said, what if we had a modernized version of that? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you have a cultural context. You know what I'm saying? But you have things to go with it. If we had the Dayula here, we would have what we call a Dayula Mansa. Dayula Mansa means the trade leader. He's a chief of the Dayulas, and he has his own Dayula clans. Each of them specializes in different things they trade throughout the region, So, like I said, all these things, and when I found my West African history, I said, all these things that we've lost over the centuries, what if we put those in a modern context? We could do so much if we had our own land, nation. We could build it from an ancient standpoint and a modern standpoint together. You know what I'm saying? We could build something beautiful and new. But like I said, everybody wants to jockey position in America. Everybody wants their little thing and everything, and we're getting nowhere.
True.
So,
well, brother, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and close out. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us, brother Khaled. You have the
thank you.
Anything you want to say in closing? You have the final word.
Oh yeah, you can show my novel again.
Absolutely, yeah, right here. I'm gonna start reading this soon. Everybody, this is the brother's novel written by Khaled Genesis. You can see him right here on the back. That's him right there. That's him right there. That's him right there.
Journey to the Promised Land, Voyage of Barkazor. On the back of the cover, I said that is the read that back cover. Read the back.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. The Liberia Exodus of 1878 was the one of the biggest events in African American history. It certainly rivaled the Emancipation Proclamation and the end of slavery in the 19th century as the grand event and the most talked about until the coming of Marcus Garvey some 40 years later. I hope to be able to write more stories in historical fiction, bringing to life untold stories and events. These stories are a part of the human experience. The characters in the book are not unlike any other people searching for freedom, dignity, and a better future. They found their version of America on the land of the ancestors. My next novel will be about the rise of the Empire of Mali. I could definitely help contribute to that in West Africa. It is time. This story with all its fables. Well, I mean, with this, you have the Epic of Sundiata.
Sundiata versus Sumanguru.
Yep.
Sumanguru. That would be the epic battle. Because he killed Sundiata's family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He raided the palace. It took him because the palace was surrounded by walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inside the city, right? And by the time Sumanguru's forces reached the palace, all those beautiful women were in a panic and everything. And Sumanguru's soldiers were carrying off their women. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he slaughtered everybody. He was the most ruthless king that ever lived, right? But he spared Sundiata because he was crippled.
Yes, the Epic of Sundiata.
Huh?
It's the Epic of Sundiata.
Yeah, Sundiata. You know what I'm saying? That would be such a, oh my God, man. That would be, like I said, these stories right here of African history, people have no idea, man. That's why I love the way Black Panther was made. This is what we're talking about.
Right.
If you look at the Black Panther right now, the Killmonger theme, go on YouTube. The people are saying, man, this movie was the best thing I ever seen. Yeah, white people saying it's like, wow. It's because we have the beauty of Africa and Black people and whatnot that we're going to unleash on the world and whatnot is going to change the way people think about us. So we have to get prepared for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Black people are basically saying, well, geez, what do we do? White people are getting tired of seeing the thugging. They're getting over that too, the ratchetness and everything. Well, what do we do? Well, we gave you a model, man. Africa, building Africa and Pan-Africa and everything like that is on the rise. So if you can't find beauty in your own heritage and everything, if you want to find everything is ugly about Black people and everything, and all you want to do is just talk about all stuff like that, you're going to be lost. This is the journey to the Promised Land was a part of our history. The part of our history of African Americans taking it upon themselves, say, look, we want to go and build this thing. Not only did they settle in Liberia, but those grand plans of also building Liberia into a world-class empire. They wanted to spend the next 100 years colonizing the whole coastline of Africa, right? And building Africa into a Black modern civilization and driving the colonialists and ending slavery and all stuff like that on the continent. This history right here, the success of the voyage of 1878 led to the rise of Marcus Garvey, because this story was legendary in Black America about the Azores, how they purchased their own ship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they purchased their own ship. And then later on, people like, when Marcus Garvey came, Marcus Garvey didn't start the Back to Africa movement. This was already in progress.
Fact.
The people that tried to suppress this, you know what I'm saying? The Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass and all this. No. This is our country and everything. The masses of people said, if I had my own land in Africa, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? And there was laws against Black people having ships, so they couldn't leave. You know what I'm saying? There was even laws preventing Black people from migrating to the north because they needed our labor. So people don't seem to understand this history. So, but I said they tried everything they could to sabotage this voyage. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because bottom line is this: And another thing is this. If you basically get to the point where you don't need America no more and you're going to be out of here, then they psychologically lose power and control over you. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I just said, Dinus?
Yeah, absolutely.
They understand. See, the whole thing is the reason why we don't rise up against them because we have this idea that
the reason why we don't what? The reason why we don't what?
We don't rise up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we ain't going to rise up and whatnot is because we know we're going to get put right back down.
Right.
And there's going to be consequences for that. But when you basically have this idea that, well, I ain't going to be here anyway. It's like your last day on your job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody, they want to make sure that the only thing you know is America. We're going to always put our hands on you. That's how they control you, through fear. When you start talking about, well, next week I'm going to be out of here next week. I'm going to book a passage from Charleston and I'm going to sail to Liberia and you'll never see me again. You know what I'm saying? They're like, well, wait a minute here. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the power anymore. We can't just go and arrest you and like that. You won't be here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can skip out on your debt. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, they have to keep you here because this is how they control you, psychologically control you. You know what I'm saying? They can't control you if you got an alternative. And that's the whole thing about this. And so we read the book, Journey to the Promised Land on Amazon, Voyage to Bark Azor. And you can get me, join our social network site. It's BAIO, Afrikstan, the number 5.ning.com. Thing. You go to my blog, it's collination.blogspot.com. You can hit me on Twitter. And hope to look forward to seeing you. Like I said, this has been a dynamite show. I think we said a lot.
We did.
Jockeying for position. Any one more last thing question we're gonna talk about that we might have missed about jockeying for position? You know what I'm saying?
No, that's I think we've covered we covered a lot. We
might have to do another part because I want to talk about since now we know about Negroes in America. So the next time we're gonna do a show, I don't know about Saturday, whatever. We're going to talk about jockeying position, how it overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, overthrew Patrice Lumumba, how jockeying position created in the Inkatha Freedom Party in South Africa. You know, all these things is jockeying for position. The white South Africans established themselves, and Inkatha said, you know something, we're ready to make peace with the South African government, so they jockey for position. You know what I'm saying? With Inkatha. You know what I'm saying? All over the African continent, you know. Everybody saw this white force and everything, so let's jockey for a position. You know, jockeying for a position is how people survive. You know what I'm saying? That's how you eat. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so we have to recognize who jockeyed for position and who basically was a revolutionary. You know what I'm saying?
Brother Kala, thank you so much for joining us. But we could do that Saturday night.
Okay, it was Saturday.
You know, Saturday night.
Fire and brimstone on Saturday, brother.
Absolutely. Everybody, once again, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, Africa Personified on those same platforms. Make sure you go to searchforuhuru.com, DynastyMirror.com, Amazon.com, search your name Dynasty Mirror. Please buy a book. And AfricaPersonified.Africa. Till next time, family. Peace.